Hi folks, this is Jay. Hope you're okay today. On my holiday reading, I've been reading this book, Edward Schillebeeckx, and he's a Dutch Catholic theologian. And I just want to share a couple of thoughts about reading the book. Um, One of the things that I found interesting is he was involved behind the Vatican II theological formulation in the 1960s. What was interesting is theologians back in the 1940s and 50s within the Catholic Church were being spied on by the Catholic Church because they were seen to not be orthodox. One of these was Schillebeeckx. He was seen as subversive. Some of the Dutch Catholic theologians seemed to be more humanistic in their ideas and liberal, and they were often spied upon or challenged or looked upon with a bit of disconcertion by many Catholic hierarchy within the Vatican. The second thing, so I think that to me it shows the Catholic Church in a bad light. It was controlling, manipulative in the 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and the new openness in Vatican II was liberal bishops and a liberal pope seemed to be, and it didn't offset the vast majority of people who were more orthodox from a Catholic perspective. And even today, one suspects how much control is being done concerning theology, stopping people from actually thinking. I don't agree with this spying on people that was done in the Catholic Church in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I don't think that's a good thing at all. Second thing, one good thing, the second thing, is I liked Schillebeeckx's desire to connect with culture. He really goes out on a limb to understand what culture is thinking, to grapple with the cultural challenges of the day, and I think that's a good thing. I think that we shouldn't be in ivory towers cut off from culture. We should engage with culture, see what culture's saying, and engage with it from a biblical perspective. He didn't engage with it from a biblical perspective, which I'm going to get onto next. So I don't agree with the Catholic spying. I like Schillebeeckx's desire to engage with culture, and I find that very stimulating. And to know what's going on in the sciences, anthropology, sociology, psychology, and all the rest of it, and how that bears on philosophy and theology. I really like that about the guy. But the third thing that I have to take issue, that I don't like, is that its theological formulations are not based in the Bible and exegetical. When he talks about the Trinity, it's a kind of nebulous idea. He says there is three in one, but he doesn't agree with the Christian Church's definition of Trinity as persons. Now, the reason why persons was given in the church is because it was exegetically based. They did their studying of the Bible and came up with these conclusions. And there is where I part company with Schillebeeckx. Schillebeeckx is not a biblical theologian. He is a cultural contextual theologian. That is to say, he will take the cultural textual surroundings, the cultural surroundings of the age, and bring that together in his theological reflection, and that is the hermeneutic that interprets Scripture. And therefore, what you get is more of a cultural God that you've made up, rather than a biblical God that you found from the Bible. So, when he's talking about the Trinity, it's nebulous. It's not based in deep study of the Scriptures, and that's the danger of being a theologian, where you're more interested in culture than actual the Bible. I found it a stimulating read. I found it an interest and an eye-opener how Vatican II conducted itself, which was a landmark time in the Catholic Church in modern times. So I found that very, very interesting to understand what was going on. But I like, well, yeah, the fourth thing that I like about this guy, like I said, I don't agree. I don't think he was evangelical, born again, or correct. But I do like the historical outline method. That is to say, you look at things from a historical perspective. I've always advocated that. If you look at my debates and discussions uh, with atheists that I've had, I always try and bring a kind of historical perspective to a topic, and I kind of like that. I think it's important to have a bird's eye view historically of any given subject or topic, and this is the kind of method that he used, and I like that. I find that really encouraging. So I don't think he was sound. I don't think he was biblical, but it was an eye opener about the Catholic Church, and there were one or two interesting things that I did find a help in reading his autobiography. Um, I've read some of his larger works, and I've not found them at all convincing biblically at all. It's not grounded in good Bible teaching at all. So, that's the danger of you being an academic theologian. You can just lose the plot, where you actually move away from God and just leave yourself in the semantics of the time. And I think that's what he's done. Okay, thank you for listening, and take care.